Over a typical 4-day race weekend, I'll shoot up to 16,000 images. How do I select and edit them? I'll tell you in just a moment. Over a typical race weekend, I'll shoot some 16,000 images. I'll end up with about 1,000. So how do I select and edit them quickly? Because speed is of the essence when you're talking about F1 photography. So what you're looking at on screen here is a program called Photo Mechanic. It's pretty much the benchmark for sports photography when speed is important. It allows me to automatically ingest all of the photos on a particular card into my computer. It does it with one touch of a button. It renames the files. For instance, this one here is Singapore, so the first 3 letters of the file names are SNG, then there's a space, then there's 19. That's Singapore 2019. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is real speed, this is real time, and you'll see how quickly one has to go through all of these images, and there's not a lot, there's probably a couple of hundred here. But I've pressed play now, and away we go. So I'll flick through the images, and I'll think, yeah, I'll have this one of George Russell. I'll go back and I'll give it a 1 rating. That puts the purple mark down the bottom of the, down here. You'll see this little purple mark. Nico Hulkenberg shot there. Yeah, I gave that a 1. Didn't like any of these. As you can see, most of these are deleted. Carlos Sainz, yeah, I kept one of those. Here's one of Charles and his manager coming in. Here's one of Charles greeting Gino at the back of the FIA garage. I'll make sure it's roughly sharp when I look at it. And anything that comes up down the bottom here with the pink is a photo that I'm keeping. So I'll work out what I like of these shots here, and these are all pretty much crap. No one wants the shot of the back of Charles Leclerc. I pick one of these shots from memory here of Max, that one there. Pierre walks in. I get him to look at me by saying, "Hi Pierre," and I'll go back and just make sure I get a sharp one. Zoom in, yep, that's sharp, I'm happy with that. I give that a 1 and I move on. I take a couple of test shots before there. Sergio walks in, I pick one of those. I pick one of Daniil. Here's Seb signing autographs, and this is the speed at which I go through it. Now, this is my first sifting through. So of that card, there wasn't that many picks. I've picked the ones I want. I now ingest them automatically into Lightroom. I copy some keywords, I paste them over here on the right, and I bring them in. I then clear that filter because that's got a filter. So what have I ended up with here? I've got 3, 6, 12, 18, 19 odd photos. So now I'll go through individually. Let's go back to the first one, which is George Russell signing something. I automatically put a filter on it, and this is a preset I have in Lightroom, which will become available to you at some point in a package of presets. I'll crop that a little bit. I'll go in tight now, and then I'll drag it up a bit, yes. George is sporting a magnificent tan there. Jonathan Wheatley from Red Bull. Yeah, I've got a tree on the left there that I don't like. It's a bit of an odd green bit. So I'll keep his feet in. I'll crop that to there. As you can see, I've bounced the shadows up a bit and brought down the highlights to even out the light. I like this shot of Nico. He's unfortunately too far to the right, so now I have to crop this and end up with about half of the image, but I'm shooting in RAW and I'm shooting in large file size, so even half of the image is fine. Once again here I'll crop out Martin, his trainer, because I don't think we need him in this shot. I probably should have actually got rid of his backpack as well. If I was doing it again, I would get rid of that backpack. Too much crap down the bottom of this shot, and I want to see Carlos full frame, so I'll crop that like that. As you can see, the original file was dark, and very quickly I've lightened it to allow some of the shadows to have more detail in them. And probably if I was to edit this again, I'd get rid of that little light over there on the right. It's there now, and once again, when I take this shot, I get rid of it. I should have got rid of it. There's too much rubbish there on the right hand side, so I'll crop that with Gino shaking hands with Charles. I give it a rating of a 3, and that means that I'm keeping it. If I give it a 5, I might do something else with it, perhaps keep it and use it for a podcast. But at the moment, 3's what you're looking for. If I give it a 1, that means I'm going to go back and delete all of the 1s. But you're looking at this in real time. This is how it works, how quick one must work. because I want to get these photos out quickly. There'll be occasional good ones where I'll think, right, I'll spend 10 minutes doing a bit more work on it, perhaps in Lightroom, or I might give it to some of my guys back in the office in Perth to do a little bit more. So I've bumped up there the shadows to get a bit more of the detail out of it, cropped it a little bit. This little fella was quite good getting autographs from everyone. Even got one from Lewis. Lewis stopped on his scooter. This shot here, I want to move Pierre. Oh, actually no, I've completely gone and cropped at a different ratio there because I think it works better as a portrait shot as opposed to a landscape, because there was too much of nothing. Not a great shot of Checo, but a little bit dark, so I'll bring out the shadows, bump up the light a little bit, and if I had a bit more time I might have cropped that. Daniil is too far. I need to take up a bit of that left-hand side. Yes, get rid of that person walking because that's a distraction. Leave him situated on the left of the image. Not a great deal to do with that last one. What do I? Yeah, I'll crop this in a little bit, drop it down, just to make it a bit more pleasing to the eye. Once again, this is the speed I work at for all those images. Now, I will go and select them all. First of all, I'll get rid of the ones that I didn't want. I'll delete that. I'll go and select the whole lot. Oh, I beg your pardon. Now I've got to go back and keyword these. So I have a program that allows me to connect my phone to the computer, and automatically I'll go through each picture. So I now need to add Nico's keyword there, Carlos's keywords here, and it's done by pressing a simple button on my phone which connects to this program and puts in the keywords so that I can search later on Charles, or I can search on Ferrari, or in this case search on Max or Aston Martin. Now going back about a year ago, this used to take me about 4 seconds for each photo to keyword. Now it's in the order of 1 second once I work out who it is, and I put the wrong keyword in there, so I had to go back and undo that and add Sergio there. I'll add Daniil here. Now there are 4 drivers where it's a little slower, and I won't go into details about that, but the bottom 4 drivers, it's a little bit slower to input their details, and the final one, Sebastian, there. So that's all of my photos now keyworded. I can then take them all as a group and export them to prostarpics.com and kimellman.com by pressing that, export them. So automatically they head out of my computer and they go up to my site. I'll now click out of that and I'll wait and see what I did here, because I'm actually voicing this after I did all this work. Okay, now I'll go and do an Instagram post. So I like that particular picture. I'll export that. For the sake of the exercise, I give it a name, and I work out where I want the logo to position on the picture. So I've now outputted a version of that in JPEG at a size that the Instagram likes and the internet likes. I use a program called Flume to go and post. So I'll pick the Pierre Gasly photo. I will tag him in it. I will tag him in it. Come on, tag him in it. I must be thinking about something at this time. It's a little bit slow because I'm outputting, as you can see, some 16 files which are going up to both my Kim Ellman and ProStar Pics site. So now I give it a title, and it's, for the sake of the exercise, I've just given it Gasly, what I think. I now type this manually on the keyboard. Now if I'm out on the track and I want to do all this, I've edited the photo on my phone and I've uploaded it, and I would voice to text it, but voice to text on the Mac computer is notoriously unreliable and is a waste of time, quite frankly. So I'm having to go through here and manually type in this. I've already saved a whole lot of keywords and hashtags in another file, which I will then draw on in just a minute. Save me having to reinvent the wheel every time. So I'm coming up with a caption here and just killing time talking to you while I'm actually typing it. So I'll plug my dinners by copying that out of a notepad there, pasting it all, adding Pierre Gasly, now tagging him. I could, if I wanted, tag his trainer, which I may well do. Yeah, I do, Piri. No, I tag his girlfriend because I know she likes to see it. That's Kate Massetti Zanini. And I could, I'll be interested to see whether in fact I did tag. In fact, I've given up on that because the internet was too slow, and sometimes I'm better off tagging it once the post has been put up on my phone. So at some point I'm going to say that's fine, and I'm now going to hit the post button, and that post will go up to Instagram in a few seconds and hopefully be seen by, on average, 3,500 odd people see each one of my posts. Okay, so I've gone and used his tag in here at Coach Piri. Yep. He too is Finnish, like 2 other F1 driver trainers. You've just seen me take about 200 photos, pare it down to 18, edit them, output them to 2 websites, and put up an Instagram post in under 10 minutes. And that's the speed at which you have to work at if you're to be successful in Formula One photography. Remember, you can like and subscribe for future videos here on YouTube. You can comment. I'm always happy to see your comments about videos you'd like to see in future. All of my pics are available at prostarpics.com, both digital and prints. For blogs and podcasts, head to kimellman.com, and for pics live from the track and all through the week, head to Instagram at kimellman. Thanks for watching, and stay passionate.